Okay, when do you think is the best time to sell your HDB? Okay, so now that we know the lifespan for private property, I believe there are some of you who are also staying in HDBs who might be wondering, what about HDB? What about my HDB? So before I reveal more, let me first ask you, okay, when do you think is the best time to sell your HDB? Let me know your answers in the comments. I see quite a number of you saying during MOP. Okay, so for those of you who are unfamiliar with the term MOP, this actually stands for minimum occupation period. So it's a duration of 5 years that prevents you from selling your HDB within a short time frame. Okay, so for those of you who actually say MOP, you're right. So some of you might be wondering, why is MOP the best time, right? Well, simply put, that's because during the time of MOP, you are the newest and hottest thing around the block, right? And buyers are always willing to spend more on new things. For example, the newest iPhone, the newest car model, the newest handbag, right? Properties are no different. If you are the newest kid on the block, people are willing to pay more. However, I want to put this out. If you remember the history of BTOs that I shared earlier, okay, the novelty of being an MOP HDB doesn't last long because depending on the location your HDB is at, there may be newer MOP HDBs coming up in just a few months' time. And when everybody is new, nobody is new. So no matter how good your HDB may be, the novelty of being a newly MOP HDB doesn't last long. So that's why I always advise, right? Young couples or anybody who's have a HDB that just MOP, don't wait so long. It's not going to last very long. And let me show you why. Let me share with you the story of Telok Blangah Towers. Okay, this is a prime mature estate HDB, very new, very central location, 10 minutes away from the city only, and they just MOP in 2017. So what makes Telok Blangah Towers so unique is that the HDB, other than its superb location, some units in Telok Blangah Towers have an unblocked sea view just outside their window. Isn't this beautiful, right? Isn't this beautiful? Unblocked sea view, And it overlooks the Keppel Golf Club and the building, right? The tower that you see on the left-hand side of the photo. That's actually Reflections Condo. And on the far end, if you see there's an island, that island is part of Sentosa. So can I ask you guys, who here thinks Telok Blangah Towers is a very unique HDB and there will be a very high demand for buyers? Okay, if you think that Telok Blangah Towers is unique, type in unique in the chat, right? Can you imagine sea view? How many sea view HDBs are there? Not many. And this is a sea view HDB nearby to MRT, nearby to city area, nearby to town, central location. How to go wrong, right? I see many of you are actually typing unique. So I can safely assume that, many of you also agree that Telok Blangah Towers is a very unique HDB. And they will probably have a very high demand for buyers, which means the price shouldn't go down, right? So let's take a look at the performance of Telok Blangah Towers since MOP. So you can see that when MOP happened, we see that prices of Telok Blangah Towers ran up. Okay, this was for a period of 22 months. However, after the 22 months from MOP, the novelty of being a newly MOP HDB ended. Okay, and it resumed the normal HDB downtrend. So it continued going down until COVID, right? Because there was a revival in prices, which this is actually in line with the overall HDB market, which I shared previously. But let's look at another example. We take a look at Pinnacle at Duxton. Okay, this HDB, very popular. Most of you should have heard about it, right? It's located right inside the CBD near Tanjong Pagar. And for the higher floor units, you will be able to enjoy an unblocked city view, right? Totally unblocked, beautiful view. And I would believe that this is one of the most iconic HDBs in Singapore and actually one of the first few to hit $1 million. In fact, I know this very well because I actually marketed a few units at Pinnacle at Duxton during the MOP period. And interestingly, I noticed the same trend happening here as well. So take a look at Pinnacle at Duxton. Similarly, after MOP, prices started to run up. Okay, and this was for a period of 16 months. And before the novelty actually ended, then it resumed the normal HDB downtrend. So the price went up for 16 months and then went down. Right? And the only time Pinnacle at Duxton stock prices increased again was due to COVID. Right? Which is actually similar to the overall HDB market. So you can see very, very clearly that no matter how good the location of your HDB or how unique you think your HDB is, the fact of the matter is that it is still a HDB and it will follow the overall HDB trend once the novelty period ends. So the value of your HDB today will not remain and stay the same forever, which means that your decision today will be very crucial in determining whether you can retire 15 to 20 years earlier. So the novelty period for the HDB is largely tied to supply. So if you are in an area with very high supply, okay, your novelty period will be very short because more and more newer HDBs will reach MOP shortly after yours. All right, you are new now, maybe a few months later, another one is new already, then another one is new. Everybody's new, right? So I want you to make a guess, okay? Which HDB estate has the highest upcoming supply? Okay, type your answers in the chat. Which HDB estate has the highest upcoming supply? So I see various responses. Now, let me reveal. The HDB estate with the highest upcoming supply is Bukit Batok. Right? Are you all surprised? Because when I first did my research, I was actually pretty surprised as well. So most people would think that it's like the newer towns, right? Like Punggol, Sengkang area. But actually, Bukit Batok has the highest upcoming supply of BTOs. And the second close runner-up, right, is actually Punggol, and the third being Sembawang. So what this means is that on average, most HDBs, the novelty period will be about 10 to 15 months, depending on their location. But for Bukit Batok, Punggol, Sembawang, these HDB estates with the significantly highest upcoming supply, these are the areas that they will expect, right, their novelty period to be about 6 to 8 months only. So I just want to say, if you are a HDB owner in any of these locations and you've fulfilled your MOP period, you should be taking action right now to unlock the value of your HDB because the tsunami of supply hasn't come in yet. So you still have time to get out, but not for long. So if you receive your MOP already, please, my advice for you, go and take action. Okay? Please unlock the value for your HDB. Okay?